Hello there, this is Conncast. It's not started yet. Guess they'll start when YouTube says it's 6.
Live.
This is Conncast with Conncast Podcast 3, the 12th day of Trumpenreich. I'm here with Oscar from Black Swan Finances. Go subscribe to him right now if you haven't already. So this has been quite an eventful 12 days as far as first days of administrations go.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I remember when Obama got in the first time, people were saying, "Oh, he did more in 100 days than Bush did in 8 years." Well, the Donald's putting old Barack to shame, isn't he?
In the first week of him being the president, he's signing executive orders, changing, like really having a deep effect in economics and political realm.
The Dow hit 20,000, and people are saying, "When's 30,000 coming?" It's incredible.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but it could be.
I mean, 8 years maybe.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyways, on the first day, we got these aren't in day orders. I did it because of the Christmas Carol. But on the first day of Trumpenreich, the Donalds gave to me autistic screeching from a crowd in the Capitol.
That was amazing.
Yeah, those videos are, they just crack me up. I love the one where the woman's crying and she looks up to see if the camera's still on. No!
I love it. I love this.
And we will give the power back to the people.
Yeah, the Bain posting as well.
Yeah. No, that's actually a direct quote from Dark Knight Rises.
It is.
I couldn't believe it. I don't know if he's dog whistling or... It could be, I don't know. I know Melania has done some... I know Melania has done some esoteric shit posting in her day.
I'm going to share this on Facebook, so that people can... Oh, yeah, there's someone on chat.
There is someone on chat. I can't be switching back and forth too much just because last time I've got it elevated and I've got a sock full of ice cubes under it. So it should be okay.
I'll be checking the chat. So Rudy is saying hello.
Hello, Rudy. Thanks for tuning in. We got 2 viewers now. Very nice.
One of them's got to be me, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I've got another window open too.
All right.
Okay, so now, second, we got a ban on those, baby slaughter NGOs. Now, a lot of people, this was really construed very poorly by the media, I think. I saw one that said, "Oh, Donald Trump's banning international Planned Parenthood." What does that even mean?
No.
No, he's stopping the government from funding NGOs. Please tell me what NGO stands for. Do you know?
Non-governmental organizations.
Yeah. That, and not only non-governmental organizations, but ones that are in direct moral conflict with about 50% of the United States electorate.
Oh yeah, so it's actually just stopping the funding for international NGOs. So it's not even it's like everywhere else.
It's not even an abortion thing, and it's a non-governmental organization.
Yeah, and it's they're reacting knee-jerk. It's a knee-jerk reaction they're having. It's all propaganda basically, and everybody's falling for it.
Yeah. No, I saw something today. If Trump cured cancer tomorrow, the liberals would be complaining because he put the Grim Reaper out of the job.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let me pause the stream here. I think it just turned on for me, actually.
Pause the stream.
Liberal. Yeah, liberal. Where is Clinton? Is she safe? Is she president? Trump, it seems in your anger you lost the election. Darth Vader, I couldn't have. She's alive. I felt it. No.
That's Rudy.
Well, Luke, I am your father. Well, actually, to be a little more progressive, I'm your non-gender specific parental unit. Got a third viewer on here. Okay, next
Good.
we got withdrawing from the TPP.
Oh wow, that is amazing as well. I think
I know. If there's anything to
unbelievable.
prove to your electorate that you're, not one of them,
Right.
doing that on the first day helps a lot, and that's really what won him a lot of the Rust Belt. And what I find funny is that these liberals, leftists, are suddenly all for free trade and international capitalism. Have you noticed?
Yeah,
I
I
know
have.
they just love free trade with everyone, no matter what their regulatory level is, no matter what their human rights violation history is. They just
Saudi
love it.
Arabia.
And they hate Trump for
Yeah, the
leaving those
globalists,
trade
right?
deals. Yeah.
Yeah, Trump doing that is just, there's a headline in CNN saying Trump is doing exactly what he said he was going to do.
And why this is
So-
terrifying.
and why that is, the end of the world, basically. Yeah.
No, I mean, the TTP was a horrible deal no matter who you were, unless you were really one of the elites. Like if you're a libertarian, you can say free market, free market, free market
No,
all you want.
even that. I don't think any libertarians will agree with the TPP. They were against it. Many of the, like, Jeff Berwick, top libertarian, and he hates those kinds of things because it's not even free market, man.
No, it isn't free market. And one of my biggest, I like free markets to a certain degree, but one of my biggest gripes with it is that if the regulatory environment in one country is different from the regulatory environment in another country, then it isn't really free trade, it's wealth transfer.
Of course, yeah, it's not free trade unless it's really transparent and, it's not a phone book full of regulations.
Yeah, and especially if one side isn't, like China, you can, vaporize city blocks in your fireworks factory, and it happens 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah, it does.
It happens like once every 30 years in the entire developed world. So free trade with China isn't really free trade.
Yeah, they have like 750,000 riots a year.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
Not to even mention how the leftists are all free to bet, but,
Mm-hmm. I know.
But TPP, I think that won them a lot of the Rust Belt, and I think that won them a lot of the Rust Belt's continued loyalty, which is good. Those Pennsylvania guys, the Ohio guys.
Right. Yeah, and I'm glad he did that. I mean, just get rid of the TPP. That is such an amazing thing to witness.
Yeah, incredible.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I couldn't even believe there would be anyone running who would actually get rid of it. And I love how
counterintuitive.
Yeah, I love how the Obama supporters are like, oh, well, it was dead already. If it was dead already, Obama could have signed it out of existence going out the door. It wasn't dead already.
Oh no, they were pushing for it, and it screws the majority of the population, and it benefits the very, very wealthy elite.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now 4, we got the Muslim ban, the travel ban. Now this I've got my issues with because he really acted like a neocon on this one.
Well, he said he was going to do it in his campaign as well.
Yeah, he said he was going to do it in his campaign, and he did something resembling it. And I understand, if you got to do the war-torn things for the public relations, but I personally would have done it with a few more different countries.
Yeah, that is the thing. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
with that.
a few different countries.
But I think it sends a message.
It's a start. It sends a message. Yeah. I think he's got some serious balls for going through with it.
He does. To his credit.
And I think it's a good step in toppling the high castle of political correctness.
Exactly.
I do really like how he has. It's all the new right-wing news says that it's Christian minorities, but it's religious minorities being persecuted in majority Muslim countries. Right. So that includes, converts to various things. It includes Baha'is. It includes Christians. Zoroastrians,
all the
etc.
others, yeah.
Yeah, which I think is very noble. I like that a lot. How's our chat bar going over here? No.
Well,
You
today
think this puts you in control?
today I saw a video of there's a protest in an airport, and the police are, containing it, and they're arresting the protesters, and it was really satisfying to watch because
As somebody who
they're
has
protesting the Muslim ban.
as somebody who has been in an airport 8 times,
Exactly.
I know that an airport is not the place to be protesting.
Oh, no, especially not there, and in these situations, I mean, the world is just. Did you see that video of where Trump is being interviewed at ABC, and they ask him, do you think it's going to cause some anger, this Muslim ban? And he says the world is it's a mess. The world is a pretty angry place already. This is not
It's a
going
disaster.
Yeah, and the point is just that, you're going to be tolerating, all this, this like hooligan behavior in a place
Yeah.
that is so sensitive as an airport.
Now, Canadian public school story time. In junior high school in social studies, they taught me that law and order was a dog whistle for repealing civil rights. And, it just makes me laugh a little bit because he's actually exerting law and order. He's not going to tolerate these hooligans. My boss is from New York, and he told me back in the, not to bring him into this, but he told me,
Right.
Back in the day, pre Rudy Giuliani, the police just wouldn't arrest anybody unless somebody was getting murdered in front of them because there was too much red tape and BS to do an arrest. He could lose his entire career. And I think the same thing has happened nationwide to a certain degree.
Now.
But yeah, now Trump's bringing it back Rudy style. Not like Rudy in the chat bar, Rudy Giuliani. Sorry, Rudy.
Yeah, two different Rudys. But I'm really happy that there was another protest. They were blocking, I think it was in Philadelphia, but they were blocking them. Yeah, that was the one. And they come marching in, and they just got rid of them. Like they arrested them on the spot.
Yep, 25 grand and 25 grand in 10 years
bonds.
for inauguration day.
Oh, that's for inauguration day, but this protest was just a few days ago.
It would be a great time to start a bounty hunting business in the U.S. All these Antifas that are going to get out on bail bonds and not go to court.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be easy money. All you're hunting down is cocks.
That's right. Easy to spot, easy to find.
Malik Obama's cock hunt.
Malik. Jesus Christ, what a guy.
Yeah, who saw that coming? Okay, number 5, we got 1 in, 2 out business regulations. Now, this one wasn't an executive order. It's not an executive order yet. He's looking into the legal technicalities of doing this. It's a little bit difficult. But basically, he has acknowledged that he's still going through with this, and he's starting the process very soon. One of his campaign points is that he wanted to make it so that Congress had to remove 2 regulations on businesses to add a regulation. Now, as somebody that lives in the third world, this really hits home to my business experience. American business has been, on life support for quite some time and has been dominated top down really because of these regulations that have been introduced. Like Steve Jobs said before he died, which was, what was that? 6 years ago now, something like that? No,
approximately. It was not 6
4
more, like
years
4.
ago.
4.
4 years ago.
Yeah, 4.
But he said before he died, I think the year before he died, I couldn't start Apple in the United States now.
Of course, and this is another great thing that he's doing, and I hope he goes through with it.
Of course, the liberals are going to blame him for his own private interest, but it really is one of the best things you can do to help.
They already have. Already have.
Yeah, well, they already have. Anybody one iota like to the left of, to the right of him, to the right of the leftist is a Nazi. So, fuck what they say.
Of course, yeah. There was an article, a headline. Here's how the deregulation or the tax cuts will for corporations are going to benefit Trump's own business. But come
Yeah,
on.
that's the only way to make real wages. It's the only way to make real wages grow. Anyway, I've got this. He's a sane Democrat friend, and he said, the way that detractors of Trump can actually have themselves taken seriously is if they call Trump out on what he does wrong, but acknowledge when he does something right. Because not only does that help them in the moment and have a more moderated and less divided United States during his administration. I think it's going to be 8 years because the Democrats are looking at running some really weak candidates. But
yeah, of course, you have to be level-headed.
Also, it's that Democrats are going to be taken more seriously if they do that. They're not going to do that, but next election.
Exactly what got him into office, basically.
Yeah.
But it was all the hyperbole and the exaggerations of, feelings and political correctness, and everything is black and white. So basically, that's what got him into office.
It's like Boer nationalists. Boers are all just so based and say things that nobody else would ever. Interweb Kang joined. Hey, how are you, Lazia?
I'm post-blocked on Facebook.
Happens to all of us.
I just saw your link.
How many times have you been post-blocked for anti-Semitism on Facebook, Lazia?
How many times I've been post-blocked? Holy fuck. I've added up all the times I've been post-blocked. And the duration of the post-block, it's going to be around probably 10 years. I'm telling you right now.
10 years, those are rookie numbers. We got to get those numbers up, Lazia.
Yeah, Rudy says he got the suck.
I'm around 200 emails.
Anyways, we were in 1 in, 2 out, and Democrats trying to be taken seriously. But Boer nationalists, they say things that nobody else in the world would be caught dead saying, but they don't give a shit because they know everybody's abandoned them and left them in a ditch to die. And I think the same thing, to a lesser degree, of course, has happened to the American right and the American in the middle. They don't give a damn what the left says anymore because they know that the left holds absolutely nothing but contempt for anybody 1 iota right of them.
Correct.
What's the topic?
12
Trump.
12 days of
Trump, baby.
Trumpenreich. Yeah, Trump. Okay, let's move on to number 6, if we will. The federal hiring freeze.
Connection is dropping for some reason. I don't know what's happening.
Ah, darn it. My connection's all right.
You guys go right ahead.
Okay, but federal hiring freeze. Paul Krugman on suicide watch here. You got to spend money. According to him, you got to spend money to make jobs. Government's got to take money, spend money to make jobs, right? Federal hiring freeze.
Not really. Corporations make more jobs than government.
Exactly.
Well, the government money to create jobs.
The government intrinsically cannot create wealth because they have to take wealth from somebody else and redistribute it. The only way they can appear to create wealth is if they take wealth from somebody else and then use it as collateral for more debt. And that's the only way it can happen. But
of course.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. Nothing bad to say about a federal hiring freeze.
Nothing bad.
But I wanted to be a subway ticket collector. What am I going to do now? I studied 4 years of gender studies to be a subway ticket collector. Gosh darn it, you fascist Trump.
Fascist.
Okay, number 7, we got pipelines. This one hits close to home for me, actually.
Why?
My parents have a lot of friends in Alberta that are going back to work. We got Keystone going through. We got the Dakota Access, is it called? Pipeline going through?
I think so. I mean, he was creating tons of jobs.
Tons of jobs.
Yeah.
And even the
don't get all
union
the-
boys.
I don't get all the controversy on the pipelines. I mean, what's so bad about them?
Exactly.
I don't really
Well,
understand the controversy.
what's so bad about them is that Warren Buffett and the boys own railroad companies, and they charge 3 times as much as a pipeline would to haul crude around.
Well, there you go.
There we go.
No,
But the
why are people protesting against the pipelines?
Well,
People protest
India's.
against the pipelines because of environmental, damage that they claim that it causes.
Yeah. Well,
Overpopulation
I'll tell you about-
causes overpopulation causes all the damage, not some fucking pipeline. I've got the statistics.
I'll tell
right
you what
here
the
if you
deal
want.
with the Indios was. The Dakota one.
Sacred land.
Well, it wasn't sacred land. The oil company offered to put it through no sacred land whatsoever. They didn't want it because it's going too close to our res. It'll pollute our drinking water. And they offered one drinking water test a month, then 2 drinking water tests a month for any tap in the res. And being liable for contaminations related to it. And they said no, because the tribe elders wanted cash for every barrel that goes through the pipeline. And the company wouldn't cave to that. So they made a big shit out of it and got a whole bunch of white people in who now they're complaining because the white people turned it into Burning Man.
Based.
Yeah. No, white liberals are cancer, man.
That's 3 based, 5 me, yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah, but the pipelines are great, going to save a lot of money, help Canada, help the US.
Why the Indians talking? They lost the war.
Yeah, they lost the war.
If they want another one, they can fight. But
yeah,
why
no,
do they want
they
peace?
did a very good job. It took the U.S. like what 6 years to take out the Confederate States of America, like a third of their population base. It took them like 300 years to subdue the Indios. They were a pretty good enemy, but they lost.
The hidden forests. It's hard to fight guerrilla warfare.
Well, that's why they used to call them tree Negroes. But pipelines, and even I think Trump actually got some union boy votes out of that, because those welding jobs and all the pipe layering and all that, those are all union jobs.
Yeah, especially what he did with the TTP. I like that.
Yeah, we went over the TPP.
Oh yeah, good.
But not only did he do the pipelines, but he's going to maximize the use of U.S. steel in the pipelines, giving a shot in the vein to the suffering steel industry, which I really hope does a lot better.
I hope to.
Well, I buy all my steel goods from Germany or the U.S. They just do the best job at it.
Totally. You don't want some Chinese baby working on your steel.
Let me tell you a story about steel. In Panama, the last president's name was Martinelli. Really corrupt guy. But anyways, sounds like an Italian last name. He really liked Italians a lot for some reason. But he ordered the new locks of the Panama Canal to be made out of Italian steel. They cracked within 2 weeks.
That's so stupid, yeah.
I could have told you that, buddy.
That's dumb.
On the 8th, we got weakening Obamacare. The Affordable Care Act is the greatest play on words of the 20th century.
Yeah, it's not affordable and it doesn't care about you.
Yeah. No, and it's a huge tax on, the American working class. All the extra premiums and such that you're forced to pay, especially if you're young. Because young people usually don't buy that much insurance to begin with.
Yeah, then you have to pay like $3,000 a year or something, just out of a penalty.
Yeah. And if you're too rich, you don't apply. Like if you're too rich for that and too poor for the now inflated insurance premiums, well, you're shit out of luck, buddy. Fuck the middle class.
Terrible.
Just terrible. It was so broken. You know, single payer would be cheaper, multi-payer would be cheaper, anything's cheaper.
He should find a suitable replacement.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually a big fan of free healthcare to a certain extent.
It's not free, it's single payer, but yeah, single payer is far and away better than Obamacare. The multi-payer thing was it was gone when doctors made the decision to stop running themselves like businesses and start, you know, associating themselves like an employee with hospitals 95% of the time. That's really when multi-payer died as an idea. Is Oscar still here?
I'm here.
You're here.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. I like the British system, actually.
I'm in Britain.
Oh, nice.
Like, of course, the efficiency, but I live in a country where the British system isn't private things are legal, but there's a public healthcare system too.
No, there should be a public healthcare system and a private one, so people can pick.
No, in Canada, there's no private healthcare system, and so it's illegal to.
Yeah, when you want to go to the doctor, you have to wait for 7 hours. You know, 7
People
hours.
die in the emergency the emergency room more often than they get saved.
I'm pretty sure there's a private one here.
Yes. Yeah.
It's terrible here in Canada. So free, free healthcare has its downside.
Freedom isn't free.
It ain't free. Yeah.
No, but I do think private should be legal. I do think public should be an option.
Of course.
Or at least subsidized. I think there should be a rationing system. Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security are just total drains on the American economy. Everybody quotes the military, but the military is just the fourth biggest piece of the pie. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, they dwarf it if you look at the total spending of the U.S. government. So, and it pushes prices up for everybody else.
Yeah, it's a burden.
Hey, let's sell our children out so that we can have free shit. Thanks, baby boomers.
What's the next point on your list?
The next point is Cox making bad decisions and poorly informed lawsuits. How many people do you think are going to sue the president and lose?
I hope all of them, but I don't know.
Yeah.
They should start the death squads rolling already.
Yeah, right-wing death squads when?
For throwing Mad Dog Madison in there.
Yeah. Put him at the head of the charge.
I mean, could you even sue an executive order?
Here, give me a sec. Rudy memes. First the casinos, now this. Indio, the eternal American Jew. It's neither affordable nor it cares about the common American. True, true, and true. I'm fine with the casinos, actually. I think they should pay taxes, but less taxes than normal casinos. They do their own administration and stuff for their reses, but yeah. True, true, and true, Rudy.
And Rudy is commenting.
Yeah. But anyways, so we've got, I hope all of them lose. I loved when Chuck Schumer started crying.
I didn't see that.
Is it even legal to sue an executive order?
Well, it's legal to question it for interpretation. And you can sort of sue for impeachment, but if you fail, the consequences are dire.
They're gonna fail.
Plus, if they impeach Trump, they get Pence.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, it won't happen. But you know,
No.
I loved how people were talking about that's the assassination insurance. Getting a phone call. Sorry,
Kill it.
I killed it. It's dead. I'm sorry, Sam. Anyways,
Mike Pence is that quiet, psychopathic guy, I think.
yeah. Even though out of Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, Tim Kaine, and Mike Pence is the best public speaker of the four.
you sure?
Yeah.
I think so. I saw the vice presidential debate. He was pretty impressive.
I don't think he was very impressive. He denied like everything Trump said. He was like, no, he didn't say that. He didn't say that.
Yeah, it was, Hillary has her own website to fact check. Trump has a Pence. Anyways, next 11th point. No, it's 10th point. We already talked about this. Giving police the power to arrest. More power to them. Can we just replace them with like motorcycle riding judges that act as judge, jury, executioner?
An executioner.
Yeah, we can just replace them. They've got to have cool visors, know the legal code.
I am the law.
I am the law.
I hope, yeah, of course.
Yeah, good. We need judges. Dredd is the hero we need. Okay, since we already went over this, 11, we got deporting illegals that are on benefits. You don't have to register to get deported as an illegal.
That was just like a request or something.
It was?
Yeah, just deport all of them.
Yeah, I think they should deport all of them, but the ones on benefits is a start because they're already registered and their names written down. Name and address.
They can go first, yeah.
Yeah. I love it when, I know this, I'm not going to say any names, but I know some a Democrat from Florida. She's not from Florida, she's from the Northeast. But anyways, she keeps arguing, oh, I know a lot of Mexicans and they do hard jobs that in my town of Florida, and they do hard jobs that white people don't want to do, and they really like it when I speak Spanish to them and things like that. But it's just like, are you just dog whistling for I can't live without my cheap maid?
Jesus Christ.
It's so funny when like upper middle class people shill so hard for illegal immigrants. Oh, really? You really can't hire a white gardener?
I think they genuinely like them, but they don't see the bigger picture, or they don't want to see the bigger picture. It's too convenient for their pockets, and they enjoy the company, so that's why it's easy for them to shill.
Yeah.
They don't see the big picture.
No, you can't convincingly shill for something unless you actually believe it.
Thing is, Americans also dominate the labor job, so all of this shit is incorrect that Mexicans do jobs that Americans won't do.
Yeah,
because Americans do dominate things like farming and cultural industries.
No, I'm totally fine with. Are you familiar with Bracero program, Mr. Oscar?
I'm not.
Way back in the day, pre-LBJ, they used to see how much farm labor they needed, and then the farmer in advance would put in an application to the government to go get a Mexican worker from, what are the border states? I don't know. Tijuana, El Paso, those places. And the government would bring up these people for like 2 months or 3 months to pick and then bring them straight back. No family allowed to come. No benefits if they jump afterwards. They come to pick, they get money, and they go back. And there was actually very little illegal immigration from Mexico back then because it was just more efficient to do that if you were one of those fruit pickers or seasonal laborers. And then LBJ came along and figured, we need, with this great society thing in the welfare state, we also need more jobs for white people. So we got to stop doing that, guys.
Yeah, they still do that here in Canada, huh?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And they do it a little bit in the U.S. The visa still exists, but it's not for fruit picking. It's mostly for Alaskan salmon fishing.
Oh, here it's for fruit picking.
Same in Europe. It's very common.
Yeah, the fruit picking. But I actually I almost applied for a salmon fishing one once. But yeah, anyways, long story. Not for this podcast. And number 12, last but certainly not least, the motherfucking wall.
Build the wall.
Build the wall.
Build the wall, baby.
Did they figure out what the wall's going to get made out of?
Concrete?
Well,
Cement?
it's going to be a concrete barrier, supposedly.
Yeah.
So what it's shaped like, how tall it's going to be is to be determined. But what a lot of people don't understand is that it was already a law, Safe Fences Act of 2006, which allowed for the president to fund a barrier on the Mexican-US border. And it was just continually defunded and still exists. Hillary actually voted for the Safe Fences Act when she was a senator, but waffled on it as president because
Bernie
you know how
Sanders
it is.
voted for a bigger wall.
Well, Bernie Sanders was actually pretty nationalist.
Because he knew illegal immigrants drive the wages low, and he was all about high wages. So he was really big on controlling immigration. And the big banks came to his pocket, and he had to run the.
I love how they attacked him and called him a national socialist.
Oh, come on.
I wish Bernie was so based.
Of course not. But Rudy says that the funds are being allocated for the wall already.
Yes. And also, according to a really sketchy zoom in on a picture, there's going to be just enough to wall off San Francisco and LA too.
I hope.
Who knows? Maybe that was just a meme.
Well, there's Canadians here on my normie profile are sharing just this petition with California, to Canada.
Oh, please no.
Such cancer. I hate them. They're cancer.
No, I would hate a Canada full of California. Please no.
Yeah,
it's bad enough as it is. It's
already pretty bad. Imagine.
Wow. Hot Canada. That's Australia. Sorry. Yeah.
Thing is, I hate when people call anti-fascists fascists because they hit someone. It's like the fascist manifest is all about like hitting this one guy.
Yeah. I know, and I love how the guy in France like fucking died after punching a right-winger. They said neo-Nazi, but I never take that seriously. He punched a right-winger and then the guy punched him back and he fucking died.
When did this happen?
Violence begets violence, motherfucker.
When did it happen?
It happened a few days ago in a Le Pen protest. In an anti-Le Pen protest.
Oh, I love that.
They tried to take our money away. I just saw the news. They're taking 70% off our paycheck.
Yeah. No, but they call the anti-fascists or fascists, don't you know? Yeah, it's at their pussies. The whole fascist manifesto was punching a guy, right?
Yeah.
Isn't like I think Mussolini wrote that whole 260 pages on punching somebody. And he got the idea while punching somebody.
You punch someone, then you just create a Roman state by punching someone.
Yes, that's how you do it. Mare Nostrum, built on punching.
Yo, Connor, this Rudy has a message there. Can you read it, please?
Yes, I can. I can try. Okay. I'm okay with the construction of the wall if it's being used as a preventative measure against narcos. The thing is that narcos won't stop at anything to get their stuff to the U.S. With that being said, the chat bar disappeared.
He says, I don't think Trump... Okay. Go ahead.
Well, as far as narcos getting stuff into the U.S., even though it could go across the border right now, how it works and how it worked during Prohibition and how the drug trade works a lot now is that the big ranchers in the Midwest will buy an ex-military plane. An ex-military plane still can't get tracked. So they'll just load it up with drugs and, land it in their ranch. Their ranch is so big that nobody can see it land. Nobody sees it go up again. And it's like, it's profitable enough that they can pay illegal United States labor to unload the drugs and then they just send it to distributors. So the drug trade won't really stop that much. it may slow down initially for things like weed and shit, but the hard drugs aren't leaving. Either his advisors are afraid of him / don't know how to advise him, or he is pulling some 5-dimensional chess moves. Well, I think it's a little bit of both, Rudy. I honestly think it's a little bit of both, but also foreign policy doesn't really need to be the main point if you're running on a nationalistic platform. So if you're running on, he is trying to negotiate trade deals, but he knows what chips he has. He knows what he has to bargain with. I believe his way of doing diplomacy is not adequate for a leader of his caliber. It could destabilize the international diplomatic system. Which international diplomatic system are you talking about? About like the UN?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. But listen, I'm gonna have to go soon because today's I'm celebrating 1 month of opening my channel.
Hey,
I'm celebrating 700 subscribers. So
hey, go for it.
I'm gonna make a video, a thank you video for for them.
Nice. Hey, thanks.
I'm signing off, guys. I'm signing off. You should keep it up.
See ya, dude.
See you later, guys. See you next time. See you next week, hopefully.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I mean, he may destabilize a few things, but I think not being a shrewd diplomat is a better option than deliberately mudraking in the Arab world.
I think his foreign policy is quite good, actually. He knows America can do whatever they want, and that's what he does. Because he's unstoppable. He's the head of the greatest army, the greatest economy in the world. And really anyone who stands in his paths could get crushed within days. As I said in the previous podcast, every time America puts a sanction in a country, economic sanction on a country, that country dies. That country doesn't even exist in the global map anymore. Of
course, unless it's the Gambian Empire, which will soon take over Senegal and all of West Africa. The almighty Gambian Empire. Okay, that's another thing. I'm with him against the TTIP, but now he'll have to strike individual deals with each and every member. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think a lot of the existing deals need to be renegotiated for sure. I don't even think they're mutually beneficial. They're bad for both sides and good for the elite on both sides.
Maybe they'll come begging for them.
Yeah. No, ball's in the other guy's court, really. You've got a point, Kang. It's more valuable for, like, what's another TPP country that's not China or Canada?
Say that again.
What's another TPP country?
Oh, one sec.
Like Chile. Let's say Chile.
Chile's in it.
Indonesia?
One sec.
Somebody in Southeast Asia is.
Australia, Brunei, Canada. Yeah, Chile's in it, actually.
Yeah.
Japan, Malaysia, Mexico, New Zealand, Peru, Singapore, Vietnam withdrew. And just America's in it right now, but they just withdrew.
Yeah. All of these countries are export economies when compared to the United States. So they have more to benefit really from a free trade agreement than the United States does.
They're basically all sweatshop countries apart from Japan, Canada, and Australia.
And Chile's a raw material country. The thing's a big mine.
Yeah, Chile has a lot of
Mexico's a welfare-fueled country. They don't like to admit it, but their revenues that are sent back from the U.S. are larger than their oil revenues.
I'm not familiar with Mexico's economy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite a rich country, but it's just a mess in there.
It is. I mean, they're at war. They're at a civil war right now. It's like they don't want to call it a civil war, but they're at a civil war.
Exactly. It's like
like, there's the militaries and the narcos and the militaries that switch to the narcos and the new militaries and the old militaries. It's really, it's rough.
They don't have nationalism or national identity to deal with this shit.
Well, they do have national identity, but they think that their national identity belongs in half of the U.S., not Mexico. Most Mexicans I've met are still butthurt about the Mexican-American War in the 1850s.
No, I don't think they do have a national identity. I think they're quite divided because they're all different ethnicities and they can't get together to solve their country.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a
they definitely aren't homogenous.
A homogenous society, then that would be.
But they do have societal goals, and most of those are like fucking over the U.S., to be honest, because of my Mexican-American War. Like, just that.
But
homogeneous
societies do work better because they solve problems together.
And actually, Central America is a lot more homogenous than like, as a whole, Central America is a lot more homogenous than like Mexico or almost any South American country.
Yeah. I mean, look at the Philippines.
Yeah. Millions will die. Millions will die.
Because they're strong together. The society is strong. They understand each other. They're the same culture.
Mm-hmm.
They know what's a problem and they know how to solve it right now. And they have this man that's backing them, top of the government, and they all rally behind him and like, we're going to sort this shit out.
Another
not
thing
messing around anymore.
Disentrenching your elites, if you're like, even if you do have a national identity and you are a third world country, you really have to dethrone who's in charge to a certain degree, because all these countries have just oligarchies, whether it be Jews or Freemasons or old families or whatever. Duterte doesn't get enough credit for doing that.
Yeah, he's just an ordinary man.
Yeah.
He barely speaks English.
Speaking of, I hate the way Filipinos speak, dude. I mean, I watch Filipino TV sometimes because they have good tropical agriculture advice. But it's just like, I understand because I understand English and Spanish. I understand. Fuck, it's Asian now. No, but Duterte like literally is Judge Dredd. He rides around on his motorcycle doing personal patrols.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. He said he's gonna throw people out of helicopters too.
Dog whistling. Free helicopter rides.
I don't give a shit about human rights.
Yes.
Amazing. Totally amazing. Total balance.
Yeah.
I heard he's at war with the Islamic terrorists in his country.
Yes, he is. Nobody talks about that either because nobody really thinks of Asians as Muslims, but there are. They've been in a civil war for a very long time, on and off. I know there was one when they were filming Apocalypse Now. Have you ever seen it?
Apocalypse Now.
Vietnam War movie, like in the 70s, but they were having a civil war and they were borrowing helicopters from the Filipino government. But the Filipino government had to keep interrupting the filming because they needed the helicopters to go fight Muzzies. Well, I mean, I think they were actually like Islamic communists. But yeah. Anyways, I think we've gone over what we need to go over. Thanks for tuning in, Lazia. Really appreciate it.
Sure.
And you're going to meet us same time next week?
Every Thursday.
Wednesday.
Oh, it's Wednesday. Oh, right.
Just throws off your entire world. You have to rewrite your entire agenda for the year to buy new calendars.
Because I'm in England, dude. It's like 12 minutes to Thursday.
Oh, shit. Anyways, see you later, Lazia. Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye, dude.